Hey everyone, Trucker John here. Quick story time. I wanted to share this story with you. I've never shared it before. I was talking to my trainer for trucking through my TNT process, Theo, and we had a little laugh about a time that a student was abandoned on the side of the road in a snowstorm. It's a true story. It actually happened, and I wanted to tell that story here. Theo did tell me he was okay with me telling the story because it does involve him. So this is kind of busting his chops just a little bit as well. So let me kind of set the scene here. The student was me, and I was on Theo's truck during my TNT phase of training. And it was in the middle of winter. If you guys know, I went through training during winter time. So it was snowing outside. I mean, not heavily, it wasn't a blizzard, but it was cold enough to snow, and it was snowing, a light snow. We were in Utah. We had just left the Salt Lake City terminal, and we were on our way somewhere back east, going across Interstate 80 up there in the north. Anyways, I believe it was mile marker 89 going eastbound on Interstate 80. I was in the back of the bunk back here, sleeping. Theo was driving. I felt the truck pull over and stop. Theo had to stop to go check a tire. So he was out of the truck checking his tire over here on the passenger side. So I went up to the passenger seat. I got my shoes on because I was going to go check a tire too and make sure he did a good job. You know, I'm going to make sure the tires are okay. If you know what I mean. You guys know what I'm talking about. So anyways, he's coming back towards the front of the truck. I open the passenger door, which I thought he heard. I thought he saw me. I thought he heard me. I mean, I got out of the truck rocked and everything. I closed the door and I go to the drive tires to start checking that tire to make sure, you know, it was okay, because we care about our tires out here. Anyways, he comes back around the front of the truck. Like again, I thought he saw me. I thought he heard me. We also have this rule that if we get out of the truck and we get in the truck and we notice somebody's shoes are not in the passenger floorboard, then we have to check the bunk to make sure they're in the truck. So he didn't check the shoes. He got in the driver's seat, started the engine, and started driving away. So where we are is, like I said, mile market 89. There's like a little off ramp type thing with a little like dirt lot type thing on the side of the highway there. Anyways, he starts taking off on me. I'm glad I had my shoes on. But like I said, I was in the back sleeping, so I just jumped up real quick. It's gonna be just a quick check, right? Because we got a ways to go before our next stop. We got to make sure our tires are okay, make sure they're lubricated. Anyway, so he starts to drive away. I don't have a jacket on. I don't have my cell phone. I literally just got up out of bed, put my shoes on, and jumped out as he was coming around to get back in. So I'm now chasing this truck on this side of the interstate, banging my hand on the side of the trailer. And of course, Theo can't hear that. And he can't see me because he's not looking at his passenger side mirror as he's trying to merge onto now Interstate 80. He's looking in his driver's side mirror watching traffic, right? So he drives off into the distance. Nothing I can do about it. So I'm standing there on the side of the road, snowing, freezing cold, no jacket, no cell phone, nothing. Just me, my shirt, my pants, my shoes, and that's it, you know? So, like, you know, I thought it was funny. I really did. I started laughing. It's, oh my God, this is, you know, crazy. You know, totally my fault, his fault. I mean, we're equally at fault there. But yeah, he started driving away. And I felt like an idiot trying to chase this truck down the interstate that was not going to stop at all. Of course, all these other trucks coming up behind me, they probably knew what was happening, but, you know, at the time, Theo had no CB in the radio, nothing like that, so they couldn't message him saying, hey, I think you just left your co-driver. Yeah, he's gone. Like I said, long gone. He's gone up this hill. And he's gone for, I'd say, a good 20 minutes before I realized he doesn't know. He has no idea. He just abandoned his student on the side of the road, unintentionally, of course. I still thought it was funny after the first 20 minutes, but then after 20 minutes, it's like, okay, come on, Theo, look in that back seat, look in the floorboard, notice my shoes aren't there. Come on, man, don't go too far. Our delivery was somewhere back east. I couldn't really remember where our next fuel stop was, so I had no idea when he was going to actually stop the truck, and didn't realize I wasn't there. Uh, wasn't too concerned about it, so I just started walking. You know what? I was like, you know what? He's gonna finally realize that he's gonna know that I'm not there, and he's gonna have to turn around and come back. So I decided, it might be smart if I cross the interstate over to the westbound side, so that way, when he comes back, he could just pick me up, right? Instead of having to go turn around somewhere again to come back to the eastbound side. So that's what I did. I walked up a little bit, and I'll try and show some screenshots here as well. So I walked a little bit. I crossed the interstate. I crossed over one of those authorized vehicle only type crossings where you usually see the highway patrol sitting with their radar guns. So I crossed right there, went over to the westbound side, and just started walking eastbound on the westbound side. Started getting really cold, especially with all the trucks and the cars passing you, and it's snowing. That cold wind just hits you. And if you're familiar with that stretch of interstate, that's uphill. It's a hill. So I basically just started walking, and I was probably walking for a good, I'll say I probably was walking for about 45 minutes before I definitely didn't think this was funny anymore. Mainly, not that I was mad at Theo, all right, but mainly because it's starting to get dark. Okay, it's already freezing cold. It's snowing, not heavy, but there's flakes. It's snowing, right? Not to the point to where like I could freeze to death or anything like that. However, I do know that I remember there's a snowstorm coming. All right, this is just the beginning of this snowstorm that's about to hit that area, and it's also about to be dark. This is in the late afternoon, early evening hours. Okay, so I mean, I probably got maybe another 40 minutes before it's like completely pitch black dark, and the only thing that lights up the interstate at that point in that area are headlights of the vehicles coming toward you. So I did start getting worried. It's like, man, if it gets completely pitch black dark and Theo does come back to look for me, he might not even see me. He might pass right by me because, it's dark, right? So now I start getting scared. Once it started getting really dark, I was like, okay, and I'm starting to get scared. I'm like waiting for a highway patrolman to pass me so I can flag him down. I even thought, man, maybe I should flag down a prime driver, another prime truck, right? Because we can communicate through the Qualcomm to our dispatch. Dispatch can message Theo or call him and say, hey, you left your student on the side of the road. But then I also realized, well, if I was a prime driver or any driver driving down the road and there's just some random guy waving at me trying to flag me down, yeah, I probably wouldn't stop either. What's this idiot doing out here standing in this snowstorm, no jacket on, walking uphill, waving, trying to wave traffic down? I don't know. Maybe somebody would have stopped, I'm sure, because it was cold. So anyways, yeah, I walked about, I forget the exact mile, but I know it was about 5 miles. I walked at least 5, if not a little bit more, 5 miles. I'm going to say at least 5 miles I walked before Theo showed up coming westbound. I saw him coming in the fast lane, hauling ass. I saw him, quickly, he jerked that truck over to the side. Man, I was never so happy to see that truck in my whole life because it was weird because it was freezing cold, it was snowing, but I was also kind of sweating because I was walking uphill and I had walked so far. I was actually perspiring just a little, but it was still cold. It was freezing cold. So Theo gets there and he pulls over, I go and open the passenger door, and right away he's like profusely apologizing and had no idea. I could tell he may have had a few tears in his eyes. He was generally upset and scared himself because he had told me, I had no idea where I left you. He made it all the way to Fort Bridger, Wyoming, which was our next fuel stop. Thankfully, that was far. That's got to be 80 miles maybe? I could be wrong. I don't know, but it was far. From mile marker 89, where he left me, all the way to Fort Bridger, Wyoming, which is like another 4 to 10 miles into Wyoming. That he stopped at the fuel stop, and he pulled to the fuel island because it was actually gonna be my turn to drive at that point. So he goes to look back and wake me up because it's my turn to drive, and I'm not there. And he said that he just lost all the blood in his body. he felt pale. And he felt like he was going to, vomit. He's like, oh my God, I just left this guy. And he had no idea where. He has no idea where I am. He has no idea if he ran me over because he took off on me. He has no clue at all, and there's no way to contact me. He can't call me because I left my phone in the truck. The only thing he said, the only thing he thought he could do was maybe call dispatch and admit what happened, and which hopefully he wouldn't have gotten in trouble. But he's like, hey, this is what happened. Maybe you can find another prime driver out there on that road. Give them a message, say, hey, look out for a guy wandering the interstate and stop and help him. Or call highway patrol. That was his thinking, which is my thinking too, is trying to, flag down a highway patrol guy. But anyways, yeah, he was obviously very upset. And I was forgiving, of course. It was an accident. Like I said, I'm just glad he stopped in Fort Bridger at our fuel stop, and our fuel stop wasn't somewhere else. Or, if we had just fueled and he would have gotten another, who knows how far before it'd be my turn to drive. I mean, he could have been gone, like, for a long time. I mean, he would have not made it back in time for me to see the light of day. I really felt like towards the end there that my life may have been in danger because of how cold it was about to get. I had no jacket on. It's dark. No one could see me. I might even get hit by a car out here if I try to flag someone down. So, you start thinking about those types of things. Survival instincts start to kick in, I'll tell you that. And it was just sus because, I was in the middle of nowhere. There's not even a house I can go knock on someone's door. I mean, it's just a very remote area. So anyways, he obviously bought me dinner that night. And we shut it down and so I could get some rest and all that, I was fine. It didn't really affect me too much other than just scaring the crap out of me for the last 20 minutes. I was really worried. Yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. And to this day, I give him a hard time. Whenever he gets a new student and I have a conversation with the students, I always tell him, hey, make sure that you don't get out of that truck without him knowing. And I tell him the story. And I bust Theo's balls all the time about this. So we were talking about it yesterday. It's like, what? I've never told this story on my channel before. So if it's okay with you, I'm going to go ahead and share this story. And he's like, oh, yeah, it's funny. Yeah, go ahead and share it. Enough time has passed where we can laugh about it now. But I still give him a hard time as much as I can about leaving his student on the side of the road in a snowstorm in Wyoming, in Utah. All right, guys, that's it. Just a quick story. All right, I'll see you down the road.